Well, hello, folks. Dave Jorgensen here. I have been trying to do this seventh video, and I cannot get them to upload on my old computer, so I am having to learn this new computer. This is my seventh video in the 30-day video challenge, and I probably won't stop at 30 days. This is to help get me started, but anyway, I want to share a little story. This is my seventh one. Can't remember if I told you that or not. This is video number 7. And I'd like to entitle it, Don't Quit Over Mistakes. So, this story that I'd like to use to illustrate this a little bit goes back to 1975, and there were other multiple things like that too, but I'm using this story. That was my first season of driving log truck in Northern California, out in the country of Orleans, California, which is way out in the mountains along the Klamath River inland. And I was driving in a 1964 Peterbilt. It had an old 280 Cummins in it, and a 5 and a 4, and it ran pretty good. And I always drove it way above my skills anyway. That's just the way I did things, and that's the way I need to do this business too, but I'm not. And I got to get there. But anyway, I went up this particular day. I've been hauling, 2 or 3, 4 loads a day, depends on how things went. And anyway, I loaded up. We were way up at the top of this mountain. There was quite a long grade going down. Some of it was steep, some of it was leveled out a little bit, but just going down more gradual. And I loaded up, tied down my load, and took off. Put the air to my trailer. Anyway, I went and I started down the hill, and it wasn't too long, and I started, excuse me, I started to notice that my brakes were not responding like they should be. And it was getting worse. And I looked down at my air gauge, and my little flag was trying to come down, and I'm like, I've heard about this before, losing your brakes on a hill. Now that don't sound good. You could lose your life. And my uncle told me a story about it when it happened to him, and him and his friend that were riding with him ended up wrapped around the gear shifts down in the bottom of the canyon. They made it out okay, probably bruised up a little, but you never know that you're going to come out of it. Plus that, who wants to wreck their truck? Who wants to make a big mess for the loggers to have to clean up? Come out there and get the logs back up on the road so that they can load them on another truck and then pull out the truck from the canyon and see if it's still salvageable. Nobody wants to do that. And so, I'm going down there and I'm like trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I know I can't make it all the way to the bottom because there's some real steep places coming up. And I'm thinking about it. I'm looking the area over, looking for a good place to bail out. And but I don't want to bail out. I almost bailed out several times, but something just told me you can't do that. You don't want to wreck the truck. You don't want to mess up. There's got to be a way out. This never happens to me. And finally, I noticed that I was coming, and it was a gradual area. We're just going down gradually, and it was a big, wide, sweeping corner. And I noticed that there was a sloping bank there with a lot of loose, decomposed granite. So I nosed the front of the truck up into that pile of granite as I was going around that corner, and she stopped, and I killed the motor because I was just wanting to get it stopped so it didn't go anymore. Anyway, I got a frog in my throat here. And I just sat there kind of shaking a little bit and thinking the whole situation over, and so relieved that I didn't crash. And so then I put the thing out of gear and had all the brakes on right, at least the maxi brakes on the truck. Wasn't going anywhere anyway, it was in that bank. And the starter solenoid was haywire, so I had to get out and lift the hood and take my screwdriver and arc across to get it started. And I thought, well, I'll go back here and see what I can find. Is it a bad brake hose or what is it? A hole in my hose lines back to the trailer? And I got back towards the back where the air tank was on the trailer, and I could hear this. And right away, I thought, oh, you stupid egg. A lot of times at the mill, when we load the trailer, we drain the air tank. Some guys don't, some do. It's just a preference. Depends on the situation where you're getting loaded a lot. And I had forgot to close the valve on the air tank. That happens every now and then. You have a sequence that you go through when you load up and when you dump the trailer, and there's a sequence. And if anything breaks that sequence, like somebody comes up to talk to you or something, a lot of times you will forget something that you were supposed to do. Well, I can't remember what happened, but anyway, I did not close the valve. And it happened to me a few other times too, and I managed to get out of it. But what I wanted to share with you here is, did I quit? Did I say, never again, I ain't going up there on that hill because, I might make a mistake and die? No, I kept right on doing it. I did it for 21 years. I loved every minute of it. The only bad part about hauling logs, that's all you do. That's your life. You don't have time for anything else. And so anyway, I'd like to apply that to, Misha the other day was talking about if you wait till you do it perfect, you'll never do it. And so even though I might going to be making some mistakes and embarrass myself and maybe cost myself a little bit of money, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep on going, make mistakes, because then you learn what not to do. How else are you going to learn if you don't try it and find out what you shouldn't do and what you should do? Hopefully you try it and get it right the first time. That's the goal. But you can't wait to make sure that's going to happen. You got to move ahead in this business. I already mentioned how I'm 5 months behind because I never moved ahead. Fear. Anyway, that's it for today, folks, but never quit just because you might make a mistake or you made a mistake and maybe it cost you a lot of money. Sometimes, people have made mistakes like that where they just blew several $100s. I did that kind of in a way. I don't know if it was really a total loss, but I bought some bad traffic. So anyway, that's it for now, folks. I'll probably do another one later today because this one was supposed to be last night's. So anyway, if you are interested in what I'm doing, click on the link below and you will be able to check it out. Thank you. Bye.